G'day everybody and welcome to the House of Mario, the South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host Drew Agnew and the doors to episode 362 are open. We've had a big week in the world of Nintendo, brand new Star Fox game and all those beautiful numbers coming in from Nintendo HQ as well. That gets Josh just salivating. He says, oh my god, a couple of numbers. Yeah, I don't know, a little bit... Nothing too surprising this time, but don't know. See if Josh has anything to say about it. Josh, or JT if you like. Here you go, mate.
Pretty good, thank you. Hello, everyone. Yeah, the numbers are pretty standard. I'll go through them all. I've updated my chart. It looks pretty, and I've done some more projections, so I'm more than happy to show you that. But you say new Star Fox game, Drew. I don't know. This is what, the 65th version of Star Fox 64? At least the fourth version in some shape or form, isn't it? So... yeah, it's interesting for sure.
It is, yeah. It was at Star Fox 64 4, pretty much. It's like the fourth iteration of Star Fox 64. Yeah, no, it's yeah, that's something for sure. I've been itching to talk about this all week with you, Josh. Just like, you know, obviously Nate the Hate, we trust Nate. But you know, it was only a day or two after we recorded the last episode where we were saying like, oh, is it going to happen? Like, yeah, we reckon it's still going to happen. You know, whether it's in the month of April, that's kind of neither here nor there. But yeah, it was only a couple of days after. And I don't know how you first saw it, Josh. I sort of just woke up and I was scrolling YouTube and I just saw that a Star Fox Nintendo Direct like finished streaming 1 minute ago. I'm like, oh my God. There it is. But yeah. Were you up late or up early? Did you see it live? Or I'm just curious to see from your point of view how you took in the big surprise.
Well, I'm trying to work out what time will actually happen because I was getting ready to head to work and then I seemed to like leave work, towards the bus stop. Then I look at my phone and it's like, yeah, there's been a direct or like 6 minutes into a direct and that notification was like 20 minutes ago. And then it was like just after, I think 7:36 my time. So maybe it was 7 minutes into the direct at the time. I don't know. I was very confused all through Nintendo today. Didn't seem like we got a lot of like heads up. So I'm very confused. I'm like, okay, but it's very cool. It's all real. It's all happening. And then I kind of like half watched it on the bus to work and then had to work and fully watched it when I got home. So it was just one of those weird things. I knew what happened. I watched bits and pieces of the direct to work out what was happening, but it wasn't until somewhat 12 hours later that I've actually like fully sort of ingested and understood what's going on. So I don't understand fully Nintendo just doing it that way, with, you know, at such short notice. You know, the other directs seem to work better when it's, you know, a 24, 48 hours in advance. Here it is coming up and you can kind of all build up to it. But I suppose them saying, you know, tune in for a Star Fox Direct was, you know, spoiler enough. They probably figured, so let's just get it out there.
Yeah. I wonder if it would have been any different plans if it wasn't like leaked beforehand, whether this was just like, hey, look, like 24 hours notice, it's going to be, not that the actual game leaked, like we didn't know what it looked like, we didn't know what it was. Like, we didn't know anything apart from Star Fox and that it was going to look nice and, you know, just like some dot points. But, yeah, it's not like we would have been like, oh, yeah, we've already seen the trailer, so don't even worry about it.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I hope they don't do it for more because just selfishly for us, it was like, oh, it was a direct. I guess, you know, I guess we didn't react to it or we missed it or anything like that. So just selfishly. But it was a nice surprise to wake up to. I woke up, you know, I think Chantel was already at work and I was organising the kids for the morning and I was sat on the couch, just leant over on my phone and I think Lucas said to me like, what are you watching, Dad? I'm like, oh, it's a Star Fox Direct, mate, new Star Fox game. So they sat on the couch next to me, watching it. You know, with they showed like the Mario movie snippet with the animation that was in the Mario Galaxy movie. And Lucas like recognized it from the movie. So I was like, oh yeah, that's the movie we went and saw, mate. Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool. So he could piece it together, could he?
Yeah, a little
This
bit.
is a new Star Fox game based on the guy in the movie, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, we'll see if it makes him a a fan for the rest of his life. Probably
yeah,
probably not, but we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. But I'm fascinated to just hear what you think. Like, obviously, it's a very different. Well, not really, but a very different look to maybe what a lot of people were hoping for, especially after literally just showing us that wonderful anime snippet from the movie. Yeah, I'm fascinated just to see what your take on this game is, just from an art style perspective, because it's been very divisive online. I don't know if it's been divisive. I think a lot of people just don't like it. But yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to hear what you think.
Yeah, it's kind of morphed for me the more I've like watched it. But like initial thing was like it didn't feel like a Nintendo game to me in sense of like how realistic it looked and graphics and things. And so like it kind of hit me. Okay, the Switch 2 is probably at a stage now where it's powerful enough to do some like really cool things that feel next gen, whereas it previously with Nintendo stuff that wasn't the case. And so um, it was kind of jarring at first, kind of like trying to get adjusted to that as I was watching. And so um, like the angle, the direction with the characters to really like super detailed. Like at first I'm like, what the hell? It doesn't look right. I'm like, oh, Star Fox. Like Fox looks fat around the neck. He looks like he's too like like too much stuff like puffing around his neck. And then Falco looks like he's like disheveled and like about to die, roadkill kind of a bird thing going on. And so, like at first, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't really like it. But like everything else with the art style, I really liked after I like kept watching. But I've watched it a few times now, and I think they've done a pretty good job of the realistic nature of it. So, um, like it's a different direction to take Star Fox, and at least like it's not just a remake that's slightly better looking than Star Fox Zero. It's a remake that's a lot better looking, and so I think we talked about this on the show, like the Square Enix route of remaking Final Fantasy VII, and they've really like remaked it and done all that. Whereas this is like very similar in that regard, but it sounds like they've taken the core gameplay and sort of not fundamentally changed that, and they'll make a few changes, but it's just getting a really nice coat of paint. So um, slightly a monkey paw still, but I just wish they did something new with the series. In terms of complete story, I really find it really fascinating. Nintendo can always come up with new, different ideas and stories and things to tell, but they just can't seem to do it with Star Fox for whatever reason, or they don't want to, or like this is very opportunistic, and they've done like a really good job here. Like here's like add Star Fox to a movie and have a game come out within 2 months. That's just like early 2000s movie video game tie-in release stuff that we just don't get these days. That they've done pretty well here. It just doesn't happen this day and age, and so I think that's like obviously very concerted effort to re-kick and reboot Star Fox. And um, I think the quick win for them was, okay, let's have it ultra, high, detailed graphics, but we know the game we're making underneath is, the existing Star Fox 64, and just make that and use that as the script, or the plan to sort of make this game, which would have made it a lot quicker and a lot easier. So um, yeah, like I wish there was a better name than just Star Fox, but this is them like line through the sand. This is an entry point for new fans alike, and um, as a fan of the series, I can just only hope that people like this game and buy it, and it sells heaps, and we can get a sequel, a completely new and genuine sequel in its own right to come later down the track.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. Uh, just the idea of it being Star Fox 64 again, like great game, but I really wouldn't have said that they would do it again, because it is a ridiculous amount of times that they have just gone back to the well, and the series truly hasn't evolved since Nintendo 64. And if you look at, many other franchises like Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Mario, Zelda, like, the big games on that platform, you can see where they've gone over the years and, what they've become. But yeah, Star Fox, I don't understand why it's just sort of stuck in the rut that it is. And it's sort of a chicken and the egg. Like, it is not a big series. It's not every Nintendo fan's favorite franchise. It's not a mainstream game. But also, how could it be? It's been sort of just, it's just an arcade shooter for the most part. But I will say, like, I haven't played Star Fox 64 for a long time, since like the 3D version on 3DS. So honestly, like, if I don't go back to Star Fox 64 beforehand, I would have forgotten most of it, to be honest. Like, I won't be able to remember like the secret paths and the routes and all that. So, I guess in that way I can just stay naive and like, yeah, I guess I can't really remember it anyway. So what does it matter? But yeah, I wish it was a new game. But my hope is that, like, yeah, it is just going back to the basics. That the origin, not really the origin story, but explaining what happened to James McLeod. Obviously, the epilogue that got shown at the end of the direct.
Yes.
A lot more detail of what happened there, and even sort of leaving the story a little bit open for a potential, like, James McLeod not being dead. For example, it says like presumed dead in his little bio.
Yeah, I have the theory he's not dead in this.
So it's like, that's interesting. Like, what would that lead to though? Would you just have like James and Fox? Like, I don't know. Like, what would that lead to? I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, that's what makes Fox special. He is the Fox in the group. I don't know, but anyway, it would be interesting to see how that all goes. But as far as the art style, I got to admit, so I'm watching it. It shows the R-wing. I'm like, yeah, there's the R-wing. And then it sort of goes to the cockpit, shows Fox, and this was just my unprovoked reaction. I was just like, oh, that's what I said when I'm watching. I'm like, oof. I didn't really like it when I first saw it, but after I watched it again, I watched a few reactions from people that didn't like it, people that did like it, and the more I watched it, the more I sort of come around to it. And it's certainly not my first like pick for what I would want a Star Fox game to look like. Like, I would have wanted what was shown in the movie, like some over the top animation. Just, you can imagine just like playing Star Fox, but in a sort of cell shaded art style with like all these effects and that going on. It would look pretty cool. So yeah, that would have been my first. But sort of zooming out on like the holistic view of Nintendo games, there's already a lot of cartoony anime looking games in their library. Like, if it looked like it does in the movie, it would look very similar to Fire Emblem and like, multiple other games that have like that art style. So in that respect, it definitely stands out alongside like a lot of their other franchises. So I kind of like that they're taking that weird sort of, I don't think the person look like puppets, but Nintendo has always viewed these characters as sort of like weird puppets in some ways. Like, whether it was like the original box art for the Super Famicom game, or like Nintendo Directs, like the 2000, it wasn't even the Direct, it was an E3 Direct for 2015 when they first shown off Star Fox Zero. They were all like the Muppets. So like Nintendo's always like had the idea that the Star Fox team is like puppets, or not really just anime characters or animated characters. They always had this vision for them. So the more I sort of thought about it, the more I watched it, I've come around to it more. While it isn't my first pick for what I'd want it to look like, I'm quite looking forward to playing the game. But like, I've been playing a fair bit of Smash Ultimate the last couple of nights, just because it's easy to pick up and play, and I've got that Smash itch. And when like Fox comes across my screen, like the splash screen before like you go into the match, I'm like, yeah, I definitely prefer that Fox. There's no doubt. Like Super Smash Brothers, like Fox, I'm like, yeah, that is my Fox. I don't know. Like, obviously we haven't played the new Star Fox yet, or the Star Fox remake, whatever we want to call it, but might grow on me. But yeah, if I say like this new Fox in Super Smash Brothers, I'm like, that is going to stand out like a sore thumb. I don't think they can do it. But it's definitely interesting. But what does worry me though is like the reaction afterwards to this game. So the whole point of this, calling it Star Fox, they're pretty much just like back to basics, let's go back to the beginning, switch to, let's try again. And the reaction to like a lot of Nintendo fans, like, oh, cool, Star Fox is back, nice. But as far as like other people trying to get them interested, I haven't heard people that haven't played Star Fox before say to themselves, man, that new Star Fox game looks pretty cool. Like, I haven't heard that in the podcasts and YouTube videos that I've been watching. But yeah, so that makes me a little bit like, I don't know if this game's going to do what Nintendo's making it for necessarily. Like, they're making it for the movie audience, for the mainstream Nintendo fan that hasn't played like the last game came out like 10 years ago. So yeah, I don't know if it'll do what they need to do.
That.
You don't.
I just think it's most people who watch the movie, Drew, are going to be kids, and they're not going to be listening to podcasts and the things that we listen to.
I hope so.
I just genuinely believe it's the angle that way, and I think this will probably be the best-selling Star Fox game ever by a long shot.
Hope so.
I just genuinely believe, it's that different market. So, fresh coat of paint. It's the cool guy, the cool fox from the Mario movie that I just liked. Mom, Dad, can I please get this game? Because it looks really cool. It's about spaceships and you get to go around and shoot things. And that's the whole angle with this. So I genuinely think it's going to do pretty well. I think, and then it might surprise some more seasoned players, but, those people coming in, and then because it's coming out pretty early in the Switch 2's life, it might be able to do pretty well over the life of the console. Getting those, those new, gamers entering, getting their Switch 2 for the first time, getting exposed to Nintendo, or maybe they come from the Switch, and get to play this new game that they've never really had exposure to, but it's come from the movie. So I'm thinking it'll do pretty well.
Yeah, fingers crossed. My only thing is, like, I honestly don't know this, and I don't know if you would know this either, but just like, what is the reaction to Fox in the Mario movie from just Mario fans, or just like the mainstream person that goes to watch this? Like, were 8-year-old kids going to this being like, man, that Fox guy's so cool, and like they are interested in more like games and media from him? Like, are they interested in jumping into like Star Fox 64 and Nintendo Switch Online because they've already got the subscription and stuff like that? Like, and like, they want to buy a brand new game? Like, I honestly don't know. I'm very just interested to see, like, we know Nintendo can sell a lot of copies of a new Zelda game and a new Mario game, but I think I hope they can sort of revitalize these franchises that haven't been around in a long time. So yeah, I'd love to see more Star Fox, more F-Zero, more like of these obscure Nintendo games that typically haven't found their audience for over a decade. So yeah, fingers crossed. What did you think about the other stuff? Sorry, you go.
So I just think adding Star Fox here is like, I don't know, like the last somewhat big IP that Nintendo didn't really have any exposure to on Switch or Switch 2. Like, I know they had the Starlink thing, Battle for Atlas, but like having Star Fox here now, I just feel like Nintendo's given us a pretty big breadth of like different IPs across these, the Switch ecosystem, including the 2 now. So, I feel like it's the last big one. And any future ones are going to be pretty niche in, we've got Rhythm Heaven coming up and all that. So, some pretty niche stuff. But yeah, they've literally in the last, nearly 10 years now, they've tried to, revive and, keep going a lot of different IPs. And, a lot of the IPs had their best, entries to date because of the Switch system being so popular. So, they're definitely mindful of that, and this sort of stems into the financials later as well. There's some talk about from Furukawa about how they're going to stem the price increases and all that, and they've just talked about like software, like they need to get excellent continued software to continue to come out for these systems. So it just sounds to me like they're just all the resources are going into stuff like this, which is, as a Nintendo fan, we're just going to eat it right up, which is really great.
Yep, just gobble, gobble, gobble. So they showed us some other things. They showed off like the game chat. You can use like the Star Fox team as avatars that mimic your head movement, your eye movement, your mouth movement, and I think that's quite an interesting idea for game chat, really. especially since it's in boxes at the bottom of your screen. Like it just appears like it does in the game when the team's communicating with one another. So I think that was actually quite a smart idea. I can imagine us
I
getting
think it's fun.
a night out of it, for example. Um,
Definitely,
yeah, so
definitely happening.
that could be quite fun. And the multiplayer as well. I think it seems quite limited, having 3 maps. And I don't when I was watching the direct, I don't know if like the modes were limited to like a specific map, or you could use the different modes across the 3 maps. Well, I thought that was quite interesting. It's got like not a capture the flag, but like a cargo sort of mode. I thought that sounded quite fun. How you
Yeah.
got to take it to it pretty much was capture the flag, wasn't it? So you're able to do that and just like dogfights and stuff like that. So I reckon that could be quite fun. I don't know how much mileage we'll get out of it. Like after the first couple of weeks, will it be something we want to come back to and keep playing? I hope so. But yeah, it seemed like something like a fun little multiplayer game that, it doesn't want to take your life. You don't need the battle pass. You don't need to be earning XP. You don't need to do daily check-ins. Just the good old days of just like, hey, look, here's a fun multiplayer game. You can play with your friends if you feel like doing something. And then we can, I can be Slippy Toad. You can be Falco. We can be flying around together. Why
That's it.
not?
Why the hell not? That's fun. I think that's a cool add-on. And they've you can play online with your friends as well. They said that, which I think is very much needed in this day and age. And so I'm hoping there's a bit more variety with the maps, and the modes seem like there's some different good ones. So I'm keen for that at least. If sadly the one drawback is if it's the limited number of maps, there's a few modes at least. So that looks fun. I think we'll get a little bit of mileage out of that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the price was confirmed. We've had a few variable pricings on Switch 2 games lately. So this was confirmed to be 85 Australian dollars on the eShop digitally, or if you want a physical copy, full price, of course. You can, in Australia, be able to get it much cheaper, but it'd be $100 physical. So $15 difference, full price. So that's interesting. I quite like this variable pricing because this is a game we don't want to be paying $110 for. I think we could probably agree with that. Just with the scope of the game and things like that. But yeah, I'm quite happy with. I think the price seems reasonable, especially the digital copy, which I'll be looking at.
And you say 99 Australian. It's for physical. It's 89 physical at JB. So it's only a few dollars more.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Yeah,
always that discount. It tends to carry over.
Yeah. No, we seem to be very lucky in Australia because the retailers just like slash off $10 and yeah, thank God. I feel like, why do you reckon they do that? Do you reckon it's just that they're so competitive between the different retailers, or it's because the prices of games here is just too ridiculous? They feel a bit sorry for us. Like, no, we don't need that much of a markup. She's fine. Like, I don't know what.
I genuinely think we're getting the raw end of the deal with some of the prices here for Star Fox compared to some other countries, because I don't know what is it $50 in America?
Yeah, $50 digital. Yeah, so that's
yeah. Well, the conversion rate that can't be to 50 US to AUD. I need to work out what the currency for that is. Let me just check that right now, because I can't imagine it's in our favor.
No, it's not. Well, typically I find that
69 Australian. So we're getting shafted.
Yeah, I mean, like put 10% on that for GST, and that's still, we're quite a bit over as well.
That's still $10 or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, like typically, like what I notice when I'm looking at indie games or whatever, when I'm looking at the prices between America and Australia, obviously it's a completely different currency, but typically it's like 50% more. Like that's what I seem to see. Like if it's like a $20 game, it's going to be 30 here. So that's like the 50% more. But yeah, Star Fox is more than 50% more than America with the digital copy. So it's kind of like, yeah. So yeah, we are getting shafted a bit, but don't know. What am I going to do?
Oh, it's if you want those few dollars cheaper now, it's cheaper digitally, which I think makes a lot of sense for Nintendo. They're probably going to make more margin, aren't they? Selling it on their storefront instead of through a retailer.
Oh, for sure. You can imagine now, just with fuel prices and like transport and everything that's going on at the moment, like the idea of me
Yeah,
just
right.
sitting at my house and processing that they process my credit card through their system, and they're not paying any fees on their own platform. Yeah, they're like, yeah, just play. Yeah, they're far more way ahead than just if I
Definitely,
went to the
100%.
shops to get it for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it'll be good. Looking forward to it. Only what, it's 5 weeks away. The
25th of
26th,
June. So
25th. Yeah,
yeah, yep. So which yeah, it's only like 6 weeks or so.
you beauty. Well, nice. And so that's coming in June, Josh. What do you reckon that Nintendo Direct, that full Nintendo Direct happening in June?
Well, this sits perfectly for a June middle of the month direct. I would have thought sometime between
Mm.
the 10th and the let me look at June. Um, we're gonna get like the 11th of June is when that direct's gonna come, or the 10th. And it's gonna be a pretty big one because yeah, outside of or they'll do another trailer for Star Fox. Talk about that. They'll do the Rhythm Heaven and Raiders reminder, and then they'll date Fire Emblem, and that'll be August or something. And then after that, September to December, we have nothing. So they will pretty much line up what's going to happen the rest of the year. So, I just want to think, like in terms of like Nintendo, like people worry about Directs not happening. Like we've had Nintendo today announce this game. We've had them announce Splatoon Raiders. Um, we've they've talked about like the movie, but like no big game or anything has there been purely announced via Nintendo today.
Yeah,
It's a remake, and Raiders was a spin-off. So like it's not like the new mainline 3D Mario. It's not the new next Zelda. Um, so directs are very much a thing, and then today's just Nintendo today is just like how can we put a better spotlight and can you control the narrative a bit more about certain announcements? Because if this Star Fox announcement was in a June direct next month, I just don't think that it would be hidden by all of the other bigger things that get announced in that direct. So
mm.
um, yeah, so I'm very confident there's going to be. I know nothing, but very confident there'll be one in June, and we'll get a good feel for something for the rest of the year, and then one big thing for next year probably.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, everyone. Get your pens out. Write an article.
What do you think, though? What do you think? Do you disagree? Do you have any other thoughts? Or
I don't know. I'm sort of like they've definitely shown a lot of interest this year in just using like the yeah, their like Nintendo News app as like their platform in some ways. Like yeah, it. Are we fascinated to say like a Mario or a Zelda trailer for like a brand new game? Would it be dropped on Nintendo today? Or yeah, would they be like, oh no, we're doing a traditional direct. We're using that to get eyeballs on our our partners for third party games and that as well. Like what they used to do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of looking at like their lineup just in my mind's eye at the moment. Like it goes on a few months after June, so I'm kind of more feeling like a September direct, but also like you do need that
what do you
lead
mean
up.
though? What's announced that's coming after July?
Was after July, yeah. Well, I was thinking like Splatoon Raiders, so that is July. Rhythm Heaven,
Yep, that's early July.
yeah. So yeah, I guess you can't do a direct like the day, like the next game comes out in September or whatever. So no, you like yes, yeah, June would be pretty good still. Mm.
Yeah, like I think a lot of the times when they do announce a game in direct, it's either like a shutter drop or it's like 3 months away, and that
Mm.
3 months from June is September. So and I think they've been the announcement windows have been getting pretty short. This is early May they announced Star Fox, and that's a month and a half before release. So that's a really tight marketing schedule that they're going down with this game. Um, they did a similar thing with Origami King. 2 weeks before Mario's 35th 3D All Stars. Announcement to release. That's pretty unreal. So, um, yeah, like they're testing things. They're trying different time periods out. But I do feel that um, there is definitely the time and place still for a traditional direct, and like you said, the third party element to that as well. The third party developers, publishers, they want that direct on as well because they know everyone watches, everyone tunes in to see what's there to play and get excited for, and they want their games to be part of their presentation.
Yeah, like third parties, they aren't silly. They know they want to be in a showcase alongside like a big Nintendo game. Maybe not too big; it might overshadow them a little bit. But like, yeah, like to get the most eyeballs, people are going to be watching it for like those big Nintendo announcements. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we can sort of everybody's sort of locked it in now. Like Ocarina of Time remake, here we come. Never is right about Star Fox. So yeah,
I mean, yeah,
um,
it's yeah, it's like you said, why would we doubt him at this rate? He's been right about pretty much everything he said. His track record is, his contact at Nintendo, hit the uncle who works there. He definitely works there because he definitely knows their things. That's for sure.
certainly does. It is a little bit weird now though. Now that we know that it's Star Fox 64 remake, and also the obviously Ocarina of Time remake. It's like, what's with these Nintendo 64 remakes this year? it's just like yeah, just 2 and 64 remakes just like in the 1 year. It's like actually it's the exact same thing they did on 3DS. Yeah,
I was about to say it's the same 3DS games they remade straight away.
Yeah, I did.
So
Yeah, I didn't put that
it's
together.
history repeating itself.
Yeah, it was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and like I look at this now and like, okay, this is exactly the same route that they're going to do with Ocarina of Time. This ultra realistic looking
Ooh.
stuff,
Really?
maintaining the traditional elements of the 3D Ocarina of Time. But there might be a bit more creative liberty wise with how they do that with the remake of Ocarina. But this is how you do a different remake of the same game, and it still feels different and fresh enough, I think. So yeah, this has me pretty excited what this Ocarina of Time game could look like.
Yeah, in some ways, I sort of like I tried to bring back my expectations because I said it on the show before, but I would love just like a full on reimagining of Ocarina of Time. So we have Ocarina of Time. It's a classic. It's an all time game. It's not going anywhere. We can play it for decades and decades to come. We got a nice version of that game on 3DS. And
yep,
if you're going to do it again, I would personally like a new experience, but with that story, that game, those characters, those dungeons, even like you don't have to completely change it, but yeah, just like sort of really reimagine that game. Maybe not on the same level that Final Fantasy VII did it, but also look at that game and say, what can we do for Ocarina of Time? But yeah, looking at this, I'm like, yeah, I probably see more of a traditional like, here's the game with better graphics now, which I'm very interested to see. I like once I see it, I think I'll be like, ooh, I think it will tickle me quite nicely. But yeah, just on paper at the moment, I'm like, oh, like I would like more, but we'll see. We don't even know it exists yet. Nintendo, we got no idea this game exists. No one told us. No one leaked it. Don't worry about it. We'll be surprised when we say, Don't worry. We'll be very surprised.
That's correct.
Yeah,
correct.
Because even like the old graphics, like I was experimenting with the recompilations that people are like doing Nintendo 64 game ports to PC. So they basically like take all the code, break it down, build it back up into a PC port of the game. So I tried out the Majora's Mask version of that. And what it basically allows is like you have like full camera control. And it just busts the game wide open, and the developers can just put all the quality of life stuff into the game. And I was running it at 1080p on my Legion Go 2 with the camera going around. I was playing at 144 frames. It looked beautiful. It looked absolutely stunning, and it still looked retro. It still held true to what the original game was. And that was just people in their basement doing that with the original source code. So yeah, like I said, what Nintendo can do with this game, even if it is just like on the same level as what the original was. Yeah, I think I'm going to be very excited to see this. Also, just like it might be coming out pretty close to GTA 6, so that'd be a test for a lot of Nintendo fans, because like I'm not a GTA fan. I'm a massive Zelda fan, but I feel like a lot of people might be in the same boat, being like, hey, look, I've played Ocarina of Time before. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what game Nintendo tries to keep attention on Switch 2 and away from like Xbox and PlayStation when that game just like explodes in November. But yeah, we'll see if Ocarina of Time is even that game.
Yeah, I mean, at least this game has to come out before GTA 6, before the 19th of November. So it's got to come out, at least 2 weeks before, at a minimum. Otherwise, late October or September might work for this title. I feel like it's a good September game as well. But there's so many things to be excited about, I think, that they could do, and they could really go really all out. And I feel if they're going to go all out with a Zelda game, it's going to be Ocarina of Time. So that's the possibility. And lines up with the 40th anniversary celebrations that we're meant to have this year. But, Super Mario always gets the spotlight first, and that gets carried over. And now that the movie's done, Star Fox has his little moment now. Next month, as part of that direct, there'll be a Zelda component, or the thought, to celebrate the 40th. And to be part of that announcement. So, that's pretty amazing. And what else we're going to get in this direct? Like a rumored Switch Sports 2, aren't we? That was the other thing.
That's right. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Hey, look, I would actually be pretty keen for that. I'm all about playing Wii Sports or Switch Sports at the moment. So, give me a Switch 2 version. I'll be all about it. I quite enjoy just putting even my Switch down just in tabletop mode, taking off the Joy-Cons. I find that so novel. Just playing Wii Sports on the tablet. I don't know. So that's another thing that tickles me quite a lot. I'm just absolutely tickled. So give me that. Give me that $8 upgrade or that $30 upgrade or whatever you have to do, Nintendo. What do you got to do?
What did he say? Did he say it would be a Switch 2 edition or a new one? Because I wasn't too sure.
He made it sound like they're dropping the Switch 2 edition naming, but it will be a Switch 2 edition, essentially. Like, it'll be the same type of thing, but they'll be dropping the naming. Because I remember saying to you that, ironically, that's kind of the one game where that kind of makes sense. Like, Switch Sports, Switch 2 edition. Like, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's too much Switch in it. One too many.
Yeah, too many Switches. Maybe just go Switch. Yeah, maybe Nintendo should have just called it Switch. Like 2 switches. Instead of Switch 2, just puts 2 switches.
Switch back.
The Switch.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, a few things to look forward to. I can't remember what else he said. Was that it in terms of Nintendo stuff?
Oh, look. After Ocarina of Time, I sort of I zoned out. I'm like, ooh. So, yeah, no, I can't remember. But maybe let's just try and forget, so we'll be surprised when this June Direct comes along. Josh is like, oh, yeah. Nate did say that one, didn't he? Oh, yeah. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
My 2D Metroid, though. We'll see.
Oh, look. When do you reckon you're going to get another 2D Metroid? Dread went pretty well. So.
It's. I reckon if it doesn't happen this year, it'll be next year.
Oh, you're that confident.
Yeah, I do think Mercury Steam's done it. And, it's been a few years since Dread. So I think it's very close.
I'm trying to remember. Something happened to Mercury Steam. I can't remember. I don't know if I'm remembering correctly or not. I don't know if they got bought or something happened. I can't remember.
And I'm not sure. Don't remember that. Nintendo doesn't own them.
No.
I know that. And they should, though.
They should.
They definitely should.
I mean, they made a great... Like, is it still the best-selling Metroid game?
It is. Yes. Yep. Yeah, a bit over 3. And, it's probably higher, but we just don't have the latest figures.
Yep. I don't know. I just Googled Mercury Steam, and I just like with Google AI, there's like just a question that's like where you can click down, and it just says like, is Mercury Steam still developing games? It just says, in addition, it's been reported that Mercury Steam is also in development of a brand new Metroid game that will serve as a follow-up to Dread. It's like, is that true?
Yep.
Is that true? Who said that?
Is is it rumored? Is the rumor true, or what are you trying to? Yeah, I mean, it has been rumored, so I think that is true, at least from a rumored perspective.
Yeah. All right. Well, Google AI says it, so it must be true. Spread the misinformation.
Yes.
Hopefully you're
Great.
right, though. A lot of people will be very happy. All right, Josh. Let's talk about the financials. End of the financial year for Nintendo. Josh, you love your numbers, you love your charts, you love your pie charts especially. It reminds you of lunch. So that's what really gets your gander up when it comes to that. But yeah. So what are the the interesting things that came out of this year? We've got Switch 2 sales, million seller games, all of that type of thing. So where should we start?
Yeah, so I want to start with the Switch One because they had a pretty tough 3 months, and it only sold like 550,000 units for the January to March quarter. And so I think that brings it to like just under 156 million units. And so just for those, wanting to track it to get it to 160 million, because that means it beats the PS2. Don't know if you can see that blue line slowly getting flatter and flatter, Drew.
Oh, she's getting flat, mate.
And
Flat,
red's the projected.
flat as fuck.
Yep, it's getting pretty flat. Doesn't want to go past that 160 at this stage. And so Nintendo is forecasting only 2.5 million units for the next year. So this time next year will be, probably around 158 and a half, but it won't quite be at 160 yet. So I've had to, I was thinking December 26, I originally thought they'd be able to sell 160, but at this rate, they're only going to sell 158. So it's probably going to be another couple of years, probably end of 27, they're going to get it. And, they've just increased the price again of the Switch One, which, so crazy. So like nearly 10 years after this thing's on the market, it's gone up in price again. Not the first time, and it's never had a price cut. So these things aren't going to sell pretty well at all. It's going to really grind. And the last year it was at 3.8 million, and then the year before that 10.8. And so like 3.8 for the last million is obviously because of the Switch 2. But yeah, it's going to be some pretty slow times ahead, and it will get there eventually. It's just going to be slow, and I reckon they'll support it just to keep it going. But yeah, you want to hope it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
because if it really dries up, you'd question whether they would do it forever.
I mean, it's a tricky spot because like we're comparing it to PlayStation 2, and by the time in like this part of the PlayStation 2's life cycle, PS2 was so cheap. It was like tiny and cheap to make, whereas this is literally the opposite situation where like you've got an old platform that's gone up in price twice, and it'll be supported with games, but probably not so many first party games after Rhythm Heaven. Just had Tomodachi Life, but yeah, it's not looking good as far as like new people adopting it, because I think when we had the conversations of like will it beat PS2, it was kind of in the thought that this thing would be way cheaper. Like we would have gotten some like serious price decreases by now, but that has certainly not been the case. It's gone up in price. I don't even know what the price of the Switch is in Australia. I don't know if it's gone up here, the original and like the OLED Switch. Because honestly, I don't go and look.
Yeah, because it's going to be. Yeah, it makes it even trickier again, doesn't it? And people looking to buy a Switch now, like I just think they're probably like people's like a kid's first time, or like they're really not into games, but they just want to play something, and the library is so big, and they've been given a whole bunch of Switch games or something, or I don't know, like they don't upgrade and they're happy with the Switch and they're doing it that way. But that's so narrow. I feel like that's so like very unlikely scenario. There's still 469 here on JB, so that hasn't changed that price. So
Okay.
at least
Yeah.
here, but later this year it will increase, I believe. Was the what's going to happen for us in Australia as well as around the world. And I know the Japanese only Switch 2 that was getting a huge price increase because that was very cheap in Japan. And so it's just, yeah, sadly, chips are expensive, aren't they? Bloody AI just, taking all the monopoly for it. If you invested in like chip makers, you would be
Oh.
making a lot of money. The stock prices have absolutely skyrocketed the last 6 months, particularly, but before that as well. So, Switch 2 pretty much got to 20 million for the, like it's pretty much a year's worth of information. But, we've got effectively it hasn't been on the market for a year yet. And these stats until the end of March. So, um, ahead of the Switch already, Switch 1, and, pretty good times ahead for the Switch 2, which is pretty cool. It's had a really great start. So, um, we'll see how long that, you know, stays the case because I think a lot of people, early adoption were keen already in the Switch ecosystem, wanted to get that second one. Switch 2 is getting a price increase too, isn't it? It's getting more expensive to make, everything, not just Switch 1s, but Switch 2s. And, I I feel sorry for those in New Zealand because I think it's
Ooh.
gone from $800 to $960 New Zealand with this Switch 2 price increase. So anyone who's a gamer in New Zealand who listens to our show, I do apologize. Like, not it's my fault or anything, but I feel very sorry for you guys. It's very, very tough out there. And New Zealanders with the exchange rate and all that get hit even harder than us in Australia. So I probably shouldn't complain. But yeah, what Nintendo is expecting to sell 16.5 million units for the next year. So not as good as the first year, but that's pretty high. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, like Fuel Car, like they just talked about, they're just going to make more and better, frequently made Nintendo like Switch 2 software titles to ensure that those sales can continue. So, we've been getting a game a month, so I would expect them to try and continue to do that as best as they can. So, in a way, we're getting more than that because we're getting 2 in July, aren't we? And we might get a Shadow Drop or something in June as well, and we've already got Star Fox that month. So, output's pretty amazing, and I think Nintendo's firing on a lot of cylinders right now to keep up with all the stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's tough because I feel like Nintendo's probably hit the hardest by like price rises because typically like Nintendo is like the entry point to console gaming and like if you want like a brand new console now, like the Switch 2 for like a brand new piece of hardware like compared to PS5 or Series X, like it was the cheaper option. So yeah, going up $50 in the States, $70 here, $100 in New Zealand. It's I feel like that's harder to swallow for like younger people trying to afford a Switch 2, which I just feel sorry for everyone because like I don't know if I said this last week, but yeah, there's like these boys were trying to like save up for a Switch 2 for a couple of years, and like that extra $70 for them, like it'll make a difference. So that'll be like an extra 6 months or something, an extra birthday or whatever they need to do to get it, or one less game and stuff like that. For like you and I, Josh, and like for I guess a lot of like adults out there that don't have like I guess have like disposable income and things like that. Like an extra $70 is like, man, that sucks. But realistically, it's like this is a hobby that we're going to get a lot of use out of a Switch 2, so we can sort of eat it. But like for somebody who's like, look, I'm kind of indifferent to video games, but I wouldn't mind picking one up for like this specific game, whether it's like big Animal Crossing fan or a big Smash Brothers fan or something like that. It might deter people like that from like picking up a system for like one game because like Nintendo platforms for a lot of people is just like a Nintendo machine, so like it might deter them from doing that. So yeah, I feel sorry for like just people that it affects that way. But I guess we knew it was we knew it was coming anyway. You and I, we sort of, I feel like anybody that's looked at electronics, I'm like, man, everything's going up because of this specific reason. Then like the Iran war, broke out. It's like, oh well, that isn't helping things. It's like, I don't think Nintendo is going to be the one to be like, we're going to eat it, boys. We're going to eat it. I feel like they're holding on as long as they can, because I guess the positive out of this is that you do have time. You've got time to like save money from paychecks and put towards the Switch 2 if you want one, because this price, I think here, the US and the UK, the price will be effective of September 1st. So we've got 3 months to be like, all right, I do want one. I will save up for one. I'll make sure I get one. So I'm not just paying an extra $70 just for $70 sake. Like, I'll get it now. I'll put it on lay-by. I'll have it for Christmas for the kids. Like, whatever you've got to do. You've got time. It's not just like, it's not overnight. It's not 1 week, because like a lot of the PC manufacturers, no announcement, just happened overnight. It's, oh shit, that's gone up by 80%. Okay. Then it goes up by another 30% the next day. Like, it's just crazy in that sphere. PlayStation, was it did it give you 3 days or 4 days? Gave you enough to be like, all right, I'm going to get the cargo to the shop. But at least Nintendo, at least you can put it in a plan if you actually do want one. And is what it is. It's just it's what's happening.
Yeah, it's very nice, at least from Nintendo, isn't it? And like you said, a lot of others have done it instantly and given you no leeway. But anyone listening, save up for one now, because this first price increase for Switch 2 won't be the last one for the Switch 2. There'll be another instance after that. So it's just the world we live in. Things just keep getting more expensive, so it's pretty crazy. But the other thing I wanted to share, Drew, was don't know if you can see this now. That's come up like the software. I find the software fascinating. Like the software sales for Switch 2 in the past year, 48 million, but just it's nearly triple for Switch 1 still.
Oh, yeah.
Like so much more software gets sold, and then even for the forecast for the year ahead, like Switch 1 software is still going to outsell Switch 2.
Oh, absolutely.
105 million units to 60.
I mean,
so like that split is important still.
Yeah.
Like Switch 1 is such an important ecosystem for them to keep nurturing and supporting.
Well, it's going to count. Switch games are still going to count on Switch 2. Like, I think about what I've been buying over the past couple of weeks on sale, for example. Like, when I said I bought Atelier Yumia, that's a Switch game. That counts towards that figure. I bought a game called Saint Slayer. That's a Switch game. Everybody that bought Tomodachi Life, that's only a Switch game. Like, even though I'm playing on Switch 2 and I'm getting the benefits of Switch 2, so I think it's going to be like that forever, to be honest. Like, I don't think there's going to be a time necessarily. Like, a lot of indie games are probably going to be...
ratios, it's nearly triple there, and it's going to be it's not quite double from there. So it will go the other way, but just the point being, it's pretty amazing, that split. And I look at like what happened for like the Switch software. Like it's gone up pretty well, but like DK isn't selling like hotcakes. It's only didn't even go up 300,000 for the quarter. Legends EA and Air Riders pretty low, but like you look at the evergreen sellers to Switch 1, and and that these jumps are bigger incrementally. Like that's 500,000. This is 600,000 for Animal Crossing. So like that's established software. People are buying old games still at a bigger rate than they are at like Donkey Kong Bonanza. Super Mario Odyssey pretty much sold the exact same number of copies for that last quarter than Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh wow!
So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The sales of these evergreen titles are so important for Nintendo still. They've got a great thing going on to continue in this ecosystem where you can buy that game, still play it on your new piece of hardware.
Like a lot of these games too. Like if you just have, say you get a secondhand Switch, and you're like, hey, I'm going to play that Mario Wonder game. You go to the shop, buy Mario Wonder, and like that game's going to stay evergreen because you can go and get the Switch 2 edition. Yep. And like obviously many other games too that have Switch 2 editions, like they aren't going to be going anywhere on Switch 2. Like you're going to be playing them in the better form with extra enhancements and content. So yeah, I feel like these games are going to last even longer than they would in other generations. Like your Wii games to Wii U, you got the disc, but you're not going to be still buying it and adding content to it and all of that, like getting the enhancements. So yeah, that's fair enough. I was looking at like the games that didn't reach 1 million copies, and like Mario Tennis Fever. That's like not what I expected to sell over 1 million, but sort of.
Shame, though.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely, that game definitely surprised me. I was ready to like be like, this game sucks, but it was awesome. I quite liked it, and I still play it. Like I go in and just do like a few challenges in a match and jump out and go into something else. So yeah, be one of those, all of these games, like they're just evergreen titles. So somebody who feels like playing Mario Tennis with their brand new Switch 2, the option's going to be there for the many years to come. It won't be going anywhere. It won't be going on sale either. So there's that as well.
That's right.
What do you reckon of the Pokopia and the Tomodachi Life sales? Like, kind of similar in some ways, and also like the Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green as well.
So Fire Red Leaf Green, that doesn't surprise me. Around 4 million? That's pretty like to be expected, I suppose, and that's why they were never going to be on NSO in their individual apps when they can sell them for $30 a piece. That's added a lot to the bottom line. Tomodachi Life is amazing. Like 3.8 million in the first 2 weeks of its sales. Like I just like, it's a huge game. It's literally it's big. So people love this series. And it's a really fun game, and it will get to it'll keep climbing eventually. But 3.8 from 2 weeks of sales is it's up there. And then Pokopia is so I don't understand why it's so segmented, where it doesn't include Japanese sales, and then because the figures were meant to be as of end of March, that's only like 4 weeks of Pokopia sales. But the first 5 weeks we're getting told, which is sometime into April, it's over 4 million worldwide. So I don't quite understand why they're displaying it that way. But that's sold pretty solidly as well. I was kind of thinking a bit more from Pokopia, but they're bundling it now, and that's going to be coming out soon to regions, Australia and New Zealand included. So
June 5th.
That's definitely on the 5th. Yep. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely going to bring people to the Switch 2, and I already know people who bought a Switch 2 to play that game, and with all the great things, reviews and the like, it's another solid entry. So some good software lately for Nintendo, and hitting some good goals.
Yeah. That I guess the only thing for Switch 2 is like it just shows, obviously Mario Kart's selling fantastically. It's slowed down a lot, especially since it's not in the bundle. But yeah, we just don't have that. I guess Pokopia pretty much is that, but we just don't have that massive game like Breath of the Wild was to be like, oh my gosh, like drop everything, buy the new system, let's play this game. Like they don't have that yet, in my eyes. Like I love my Switch 2 and I'm having so much fun with it, but I feel like a lot of people need more convincing than I did or you did. So yeah, I think we're just still waiting for that game, but Pokopia was it, but also probably wasn't. It's hard to compare. I don't know if anything can match what Breath of the Wild was for Switch.
Yeah, I don't know if anything will though, as well, because that was so huge and defining at the time. And I think for us it was probably, we're hoping Mario Kart World would redefine what a racing game was, and it didn't quite do that, did it? But it's obviously going to do and sell very well. I don't know if it'll ever beat Deluxe, but I suppose that was meant to be the one and didn't quite hit the mark. So, but been pleasantly surprised, and Pokopia is one of those ones where it's pleasantly surprised me what the Switch 2 can do. But then like Tomodachi Life selling the way it has, that's another big surprise as well. So Nintendo can still pull out the stops, and a remake of Ocarina of Time might be another one that they can get done well later this year.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we'll see how it goes over the next year, I guess. We'll be following Nintendo very closely, I dare say, on this podcast, Josh. We'll we'll see how they go.
I mean, I imagine so. I did think so.
Yeah, we're like, yeah. After another like 20 episodes, what do you reckon Nintendo's up to? Any games out? Any Switch games? Yeah, maybe. Some other stuff we got out of this was that we got information about Takahashi Tezuka. He's retiring from Nintendo. Just an absolutely prolific just figure at Nintendo since the very beginning, being director on like original Mario Brothers, original Zelda, many other games, and so he'll be retiring on June 26th of this year. So, I mean, yeah, one of the legends stepping down, which is I mean, I'm glad that he can sort of just retire and live the rest of his life how he how he wants to. It's nice to see somebody in the industry just sort of take a step down and all that. And we're at a point now where it's like, we're going to be at a crossroads very soon. Obviously, like Miyamoto sort of handed the reins on many years ago, and he's just like the creative fellow doing like the movies and theme parks and stuff like that, as far as the actual brand and bringing the characters to other mediums and stuff like that. But it is we're pretty far deep into like the next generation of creators that are making like Zelda, Mario, and other Nintendo games, and it makes me feel old because like, when are they going to be passing their reins on again? Like we're in our 50s, like, oh man, like Tetsumi, he's retiring. It's like, oh my god, it's like we're gonna feel old as shit when that happens.
Yeah,
like,
well,
who's taking on the reins of Mario and Keiji Inuma and Jesus Christ, like once all of these guys start to.
Drew, like Miyamoto's gonna be leaving soon. I don't know, is he?
Look,
he's getting a bit there. And Sakurai, the torch is really going to get passed away to the next person, very soon.
Yeah,
it's slowly happening.
Yeah, like I feel like with Miyamoto, like in his role, I feel like he could make it whatever he wants it to be. Like if he really wants to do like one day a week, and
he seems to be the exception, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like they treat him like God. Just do what you need to do, pretty Miyamoto. Much. I still love the story of that he couldn't ride his bike to work. So it's like, we can't let anything happen to you, bro. Like,
you're too worth it.
Yeah,
too valuable to us.
Yeah. So no, fair enough. I guess. Yeah. As far as like, I guess Sakurai handing on the reins. Like, is he trained anyone up for like the next Smash Brothers? Is that is a franchise I'll be nervous of. Like, Sakurai isn't director of this game. About oh dear, who is it? Let me see him.
I am worried.
Where's the resume? Publish your resume online.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone, so I don't know. But I mean, that doesn't mean it's not the case. But big shoes to fill, isn't it?
Mm. Yes, absolutely. But I guess back to Tezuka. I'm just going to read this paragraph from Vooks, but it says, quote, Tezuka has been right there from the very start and directed games including The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros. 3, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Super Mario World. His name is attributed to so many games that my finger hurts from scrolling. So, yeah. I mean, just those games alone, let alone like everything beyond then, but just like since the beginning on the first two Nintendo consoles, like Legend of Zelda and Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, like just those games just by themselves is just quite a resume. So it
is.
Just hats off to Tezuka. Fantastic work over at Nintendo.
Yeah, hope you enjoy your retirement. So pretty significant and great contribution to the company and all the games you worked on for creating so many special memories for people. It's a pretty great legacy.
Absolutely. All right, Josh, let's talk about what we've been playing. We got through all of the business talk, which I quite enjoyed. It's quite nice talking about all the fun things like price increases, fluffy Star Fox characters. Yeah, we had some fun there, but have the thumbs been on the sticks? Have the buttons been clacking? Have your triggers been rocking back and forth? Have you been pressing that home menu, holding in the button, changing the volume? Have you been interacting with the Switch too much this week, Josh? How you been?
I really haven't this week.
Oh, no
Just one of those
rocking of the
weeks where I
triggers.
wasn't able to. No, nothing really happened. I played a bit of Tomodachi Life today, and then I hadn't played anything since last week until what I did today. So, um, yeah, just a bit of a busier weekend and some other things going on, and just didn't get the time. So, that's all right. It does happen that way. So, but yeah, just one of the
100%.
quieter ones for me. But I know you've been playing something though.
Yeah, so I haven't. Well, I've been playing a lot on Switch too. I've just been playing like Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, and just jumping into stuff when I get a free time. But as far as like new stuff goes, I've been playing on Game Pass. Like I said last week, I went over to I resubscribed to the Devil, and playing some Xbox Game Pass on my Legion Go 2, and I signed up specifically for this game, Mixtape. And I absolutely love this game. But just for a little bit of context, this game is developed by Beethoven and Dinosaur, an Australian team here in Melbourne. So, it's not why I like them, but I've certainly got some bias towards them, being like, yes, I like an excellent developer here in Australia. And like their first game, The Artful Escape, that came out in 2021, I absolutely fell in love with that game. And it's very much about like a young man who grows up in a small town, and he doesn't really know who he wants to be. And he's got like expectations put down upon him from his like uncle, who's like this famous folk musician. And he's expected to become this awesome folk musician as well. But he doesn't like playing folk music. And he goes on this crazy intergalactic adventure to go through like, discover who he wants to be and becomes the person he wants to be. And when that game finished, I was like sobbing a little bit. I was like, man, I was truly touched by that game. I was like I could relate a lot to it as well. And I thought it was truly special, just like a really special cinematic platformer. Like it's it's a platformer, but it's not really platforming. It's not really any fail conditions or anything like that. But I love that game. So when I heard of it, they're making another game called Mixtape. It was announced at like a Xbox conference a few years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So a long time. This game's been a long time sort of on my periphery. So I was very much looking forward to playing this, and it's been interesting sort of like looking at the discourse for this game. I couldn't have predicted what was going to come out of it, but truly like when I played it like the first night it came out, truly loved it. And it's quite a short game. I think it took me like 3.5 hours. I think other people, they say it like took them maybe 3 hours, and other people 4 hours and things like that. But it's basically like another sort of coming of age story. So you got these 3 teenagers in the States, and it's last night before one of them's leaving to go to New York to become a music supervisor. And I didn't know what a music supervisor was before this game, but apparently it's somebody who like puts together like the perfect soundtrack for like movie trailers and movies and things like that. Like somebody who like can really put like the perfect song to a moment. And the main character in this game, her name's Stacey Rockford, and the whole game is basically about like she's making the perfect night, like the final night with her friends. So she's got like a mixtape for the night. So every moment has a song to it. So the game starts off, she introduces you to like the first song, and like sets the moment, and the whole sort of game is basically broken into tracks. So like like it starts off, you're like going down the hill to like a Devo song, and like a lot of the music I hadn't heard before. So I added quite a few to my my streaming platforms. Well, quite nice. Yes, I quite like this song, and so a little bit out of my like typical music that I like to listen to, but just like classic rock.
What genres was it?
A lot of like classic rock and stuff like that. Like it was like Devo and Silverchair. I can't quite remember just without looking at a list, but yeah, sort of like stuff like that. But yeah, there's like a lot of different moments as you're going through the game. Like might be like skateboarding sections, or early in the game, there's like she sort of talks about like her awkward first kiss, and then it goes to like a scene where like these two teenage silhouettes are like about the kiss, and then there's like basically go inside the mouths, and with each of the joysticks you're like controlling their tongues. So the game's basically tried to like capture the awkward and grossness of like, I guess, like an awkward first kiss. Like, yeah, it's just the humor and like the writing for this game is like, it's very funny. Like multiple times I get, I've got a big smile across my face, or I'm doing a bit of a chuckle. There's like some sort of, the sense of humor is very unique to this game. But it's like typically like there isn't too much gameplay to it. Like it is very much just like, all right, I'm watching this, and then like the next section, like, you're doing something stupid like doing the tongues, or you're skateboarding with your friends down the hill, or there's like a rock skimming section, which you can spend a bit of time in, just like throwing rocks and trying to hit certain things and all that type of thing. But for the most part, it's just like an interactive movie, really. Like, and I quite like that. There's some sections like in Life is Strange where like you're looking around the bedroom, you're interacting with objects and things like that, but it's pretty far and few between. But yeah, it was just a really nice sort of sit down for the night, taking the story, the music, just the vibes that the game put off was just immaculate. Like, I'm not somebody who's nostalgic for the 90s because I was born in 94. So like I don't have that good of memories of the 90s. But like, yeah, just the vibes of it and everything that it was giving off. I really liked it. I think I would say that I really love the game, but The Artful Escape is, that game personally resonated more with me. So I think that one's still my favorite out of these games. So I'm gonna go and probably play some more chapters. Like I said, I'm playing on Game Pass, so I might try and get some of the achievements and stuff like that. I wouldn't mind going back and sort of experiencing some of those songs and those moments again. It was really great. I really, really enjoyed it. I'll definitely recommend it to anybody on Switch 2. I think it's on sale for like $26. So it's like, it is kind of the price.
10% discount.
Yeah.
At the moment.
So like, I think I would like to buy. Sorry.
How does it compare to the Switch 2 version compared to Xbox and PlayStation?
Yeah, I don't
much difference.
I don't know. I've had a look at some gameplay. I think it looks the same on Switch 2. I would have just played in handheld mode anyway. So yeah. The only reason I played on Game Pass was pretty much just to save a couple of bucks, and there was like a lot of other games I wanted to dabble in as well. So I think like I would like my own own copy or digital copy, or if they do like a limited run or something, that'd be pretty sick as well. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, I'd like to support this game, but down the track a bit more. But yeah, no, definitely recommend it. I feel like it's not too much time to take it out of anybody's week or day. So yeah, definitely go and check it out. I'd recommend it to you, Josh.
Short experience.
Yeah, I'd recommend it to you if you ever feel like spending the cash or whatever. If you see it on a good enough sale, definitely recommend it because it's just a sit down for the night. Michaela can sit there and watch it with you as well, and it's just like it's not too long or anything like that, so it'd be good fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to I do like the idea of shorter games these days, and nothing that's going to take too much time to complete. So, I think that's cool. And then more of a movie kind of watch feel to it. Yeah, you can just sort of do that with your partner a bit more, I suppose, can't you? And sort of experience it that way. And definitely a place for that in gaming. So that's good. I'm glad you really enjoyed it, Drew, because I know you talked about it a little bit going into it, and being Australian as well. That's a cool extra little perk. I'm sure you sort of chest goes out a little bit further. When you're playing this game, like, okay, it's another Australian game that's doing well and getting good reviews. So, that's always a cool thing.
Yeah. I feel like the only selfish criticism, it's not even criticism, it's just like a bit of a wish list for the next game Beethoven and Dinosaur do, where it's like we've got like a really talented developer here in Australia. They're making this type of like game that's resonated quite well with me twice. And they made a game that's based in the US on like the East Coast. It's like, we've got enough games in America. Can we please? I would have loved it if they made like this based in Australia. Like that would have been really special. Like I know why they don't do it. Like Annapurna Interactive, like they would have had the publisher. There would have been conversations about, oh look, we've got to have it appeal to the big audience in the States. Like there would have been these conversations, but we need more games based in Australia. And you know, we've got other developers that are making like Untitled Goose Game, for example, or Hollow Knight. You know, got games like this, but no games where it's like really based in a place or a country. Whereas like this one is like very much just like, hey, look, this is like this part of the US, and then they're going. Like the idea is to go on a road trip and we go from here to there. It's like, man, Americans have enough stuff based in their country. Can we have one? And like, especially with the people that live here, can you make one? Everybody in the States, they're not going to make an Australian-based game. People in the UK or other parts of the world, like if we're ever going to get one, it's got to be from us. So from like the limited amount of developers that we have here that have, I guess the budget or the know-how or whatever, can you please make a story based in Australia with like great writing and all of this stuff that you guys bring? Can you do it like, do a road trip, I don't know, from Canberra to Sydney? I don't know, whatever you got to do. Maybe not, that's a pretty short road trip.
Pretty short.
Maybe a pretty short road trip. Yeah, I don't know. Just do the
Sydney to Perth.
Yeah, Sydney to Perth. Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, something like that. Absolutely. So that's just like, that's not a criticism. That's just me asking for next time. Like, guys, do an Australian one. Do it in Australia, because it's always something that's annoyed me so much. Like when I learnt that Thomas the Tank Engine was dubbed for the American audience, I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You can't listen to the British accent on the show that's based in an island off the coast of the UK. You really, really, and like, God forbid any of these games were based anywhere else. It's like you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn. You're like, oh, this is a cool game. Oh, it's a post-apocalypse America. Oh, fair enough. I thought it was something a bit different. God, Christ. Let other countries have something. That's why like Forza Horizon based, like Forza Horizon 3 based here. I'm like, oh my God, we got one. We got one. I guess
not many. Yes. Yeah, sadly, yeah, more to come that way, I feel. Inevitable.
Now that I'm saying this, I remember that what's it called? Oh, it's escaping my mind. I haven't played it, but what's that Kojima game? What's the Kojima game, Josh, on PlayStation? Let me know. Not Metal Gear. Death Stranding, yeah. Death Stranding 2, that's based in Australia. That's in Australia. Yeah. So maybe I should play that. Just shut the hell up about this and go and play Death Stranding 2. And walk around the outback and be like, oh yeah, this is why games aren't here, because there's nothing here. Maybe that's why.
Tell everyone that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. I agree.
I've always got a devil advocate myself when I'm on a podcast. I'm like, yeah, well, maybe there's a reason. Maybe they don't want to come to Adelaide. Game based in Adelaide is a bit boring. Would you play a game based in Adelaide, Josh? What do you reckon they could do?
All the weird murders that happen here.
Oh. Yeah, a bit of like
maybe a horror game. I think that'd work in Adelaide.
horror Adelaide game. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I mean.
What's your idea?
So, I don't really have an idea. I reckon just Need for Speed Adelaide, Hindley Street, look out. Yeah, just a Need for Speed Hindley Street edition.
Gary's Ghost die.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing this week, apart from just dabbling and jumping into other things. I wrote down in my notebook what I'd like to play the rest of the month. I'd like to wrap up Final Fantasy VII and Pragmata on Switch 2. Replaced, I want to play a bit more of that game. Coffee Talk comes out. Obviously, Yoshi comes out. So yeah, I mean, it's a big list. See if I get a quarter of it. So there we go.
There you go.
But I guess I can talk about this too. I got the Steam controller.
Oh,
So yeah, I apparently the pre-ordering process was absolutely fucked. So I woke up about 6 o'clock.
Lucky to get one then.
Yeah, well, it went live 3 o'clock our time in the morning, and I wasn't going to start at 3 o'clock to order a controller. I didn't even expect that it would sell out, to be honest. I thought it'd be one of those things where, hey, look, it goes live and I'll get one the next day. But I woke up at 6 to give my daughter a bottle, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm up. I just jumped on Steam. Well, yep, it's up now. I press buy now, add it to the cart, bought it. And then like later that morning, I was so yeah, I bought it easy. And then later that morning, I noticed that like one of the YouTube channels I follow, his name's Blunty. He just does like tech reviews and stuff like that. He put up a video just saying, "Oh, what a shit show this Steam controller pre-order was," and he couldn't get through and all this. I'm like 3 hours later, I just hopped on and got one. So yeah, that was entertaining. I saw in the US it was a shit show. I didn't really expect it to be a shit show. I didn't realize there'll be that much fever to get a controller with trackpads, to be honest with you. But I guess there was. So cool. I guess I'm lucky to get it.
Expensive?
Yeah, pretty expensive. It was $150. But I want to get a.
Not too bad.
I want to get a Steam. What's it called? Steam machine. So I'm like, well, yeah, I'll get the controller, and when the Steam machine comes available, I'll get that. But I sort of needed the controller.
Is that still happening? Happening with that?
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it is. They haven't said it's not. They're just sort of waiting for a time to jump on it and not be super expensive. You could only imagine what the price of that thing could be when it eventually comes out. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how much it costs and whether it makes sense to jump into it. But yeah, I think I'll get a lot of use out of it because I want to get like outside of Switch, like Steam's basically replaced PlayStation for me in like a lot of ways.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'll get a lot of use out of having a Steam box under my TV. It's going to replace my Xbox. That's going to be disconnected and moved out. It's going to be a little ceremony. Be like, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. you fucked
trolley.
Yep. Don't fall out on the way. No, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Too late. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I mean, just from the limited amount I've played, like the controller feels good. It doesn't feel too awkward. I feel like the buttons and that, it feels like pretty much similar to what the Steam Deck. If anybody out there's used the Steam Deck, buttons and that feel quite nice. It doesn't feel as nice as the Switch 2 Pro controller. I feel like that's the controller to beat for me at the moment. Just the way, like when you grab it, it's like, whew, just feels good. The only thing about this one is like it's got like back paddles on the back. So like on the Switch 2 Pro controller, it's just flush with the design, so you don't feel them. But these ones, they stick out maybe like a few mil. So like I can always feel them on the back. I'm always like rubbing them because they're just like. There's just big lumps, like 4 lumps there where my fingers are. So I'm always thinking about them, but that might be something I just forget about, hopefully. But yeah. So yeah, I'll be playing with it more when I've actually got a Steam machine. But I tried it a bit on the Legion Go too, and played a couple of games. I noticed like I've got Sonic Sonic Crossworlds Racing on Steam. I noticed it wasn't working with that game. Like I'm like, okay. Like, it won't work. I'm like, is it just, is there something wrong? Then I went to another game I have and it was working fine. I'm like, don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. The game needed an update. The controller needed an update. I'm like, all right, time to get into the PC game and Duffy. It's just, do these 12 things need an update for it to work?
Customization, on things you got to do, settings.
Yeah. I quite like both worlds. I absolutely love the Switch 2, how it's just like you plonk it down and it is what it is. and for the most part, it's good. But if it's bad, it is what it is, and you accept it or you move on. Whereas like the Legion Goat 2 that I have, it's like I can make it good. I don't know if it will be good, but I can try. It's like, or yeah, it's just like
Play around with it. Take me some time, but yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes I quite enjoy it, but like when I'm buying like a brand new game, like if I say, for example, I want to get Forza Horizon 6 on Steam, if that doesn't work out of the box, I'm going to be kind of annoyed because I'm like, I don't want to spend $100 and be like, all right, let's get this working. Like I like tinkering with stuff that, you know, I don't spend a lot of money on, like emulation and front ends and how things look and all of that type of stuff. But when it's like, I bought a game, I just want it to work, like for love of Christ.
For sure.
I know you feel the same.
Yeah. More time playing, less time setting up.
Yes, absolutely. Because yes, I've definitely gone down the rabbit hole a few times. Been like, man, I did a lot of setting up this week. I had fun doing it, so I don't know if it's necessarily that bad a thing, but yeah, I don't want to be doing that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Well, as long as you enjoy it, that helps.
Yeah. It just depends on like what mood I'm in. But yeah, last few weeks I've definitely been in like, yep, just on Switch 2, download it. She's done. Don't have to worry about it. She's all good.
Yep.
Apart from the screen brightness, we're all good. All right.
Yep. Nice.
Josh, I think that brings us to the end of the episode of the House of Mario. Josh, anything else you'd like to get off your chest before we close the doors to everyone?
No. I think talked about it all really. So, but yeah, no, very good catch up, Drew. Good to chat with you. Some things finally happening with Nintendo last week, which was good.
That's right, and we'll be in a drought for another month now because of that.
You never know.
You never know. Yeah, I guess I'll. I know you're not going to play Yoshi on the 21st or whatever it is, but I guess we'll have that to talk about for what episode, whatever we're playing. What is I guess like since you had a busy week last week, if you get some gaming time in the next 7 days, what is the idea to jump into? What games are you playing?
I'm not sure. Tomodachi Life, really enjoying that still. So still be playing that. Will probably be the main one.
Yeah. Might be a brand new decision, a brand new adventure, Josh. Think about the possibilities. Where can you go?
I got to finish my Fire Red run as well.
Back to Kanto. Excellent choice. Not bad choice.
I've got to keep moving with that as well.
Are you going to be going back to Skyloft, Josh? That's the question. Skyward Sword.
Yes, I did do that 3 weeks ago. And yeah, I do need to do that. So I do want to.
You beauty. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing whenever you do that.
It'll happen. It'll happen, don't worry.
It'll happen one day. But everybody, I'd love to hear what you guys have been playing over the last week and what you're looking forward to playing. If you want to leave it in the YouTube comments or the Discord at the iDruby Homestead, I'll be more than interested to hear what you've been playing and what you're looking forward to, all of that fun stuff. Because it's all about playing games. I'm seeing some absolute fucking drongos whinging about Mixtape, and they're... God, this frustrated me so much today, Josh. People are like saying like, oh, the critics... Talking about like nobody cares about IGN, like what they think, like because they gave Mixtape a 10 out of 10 and it's because it's one of these narrative games where you don't have to play and this whole thing about critics and all this type of thing. And it's like, nobody cares what they think. It's like, well, if you didn't care what they think, why are you making a video on it? Like, I don't care what they think and I'm not making a video on it because I truly don't care what they think. But I think these people, I think they do care what IGN and these, outlets think. So what I'm trying to say is actually play some fucking games, everybody.
Yeah.
Play some goddamn games.
Yep.
But everybody, thank you very much for listening to episode 362. Appreciate you, but it's time to get on out of here. The doors are closed. I'll catch you later.